Yeah, I'm feeling good. And I think, same for the squad. We're all obviously come down from the high of the Canada game and just excited to prep for the next game against Denmark.
Kieran.
Pernille Harder, obviously it's going to be a challenge. How do you view it?
Yeah, I think you could say that for every single team. The striker's always one of their most dangerous players, but obviously Pernille, you have to respect the player that she is. She's, Sammy said earlier, you know, she's someone who can change the game for their team. So for us, I think it's just being alert at all times against her, and just showing up in the same way that we did, I guess, against Canada as a team. I think that attitude that we had in that game is something that we need to bring to every single game. And obviously, you know, there's only one ahead at the moment, so we have to focus on that. And I think, Pernille's someone who we have to make sure that we limit her chances and her time on the ball.
It's a great Australian trait of playing better as underdogs. Has that been spoken about in terms of playing as champions? Or favourites would probably be.
Yeah, I think for us it's not so much putting a label on it, but I think it's just where we were in that game. We were an underdog. Maybe people thought we were a favourite in the Nigeria game, so it fluctuates throughout the tournament depending on the games and the performances that we put in, the results we get. So, of course, I think we love to rise to the occasion, and this is another do or die game. It's obviously, you know, we can't. There's nothing beyond this for us right now, so we just have to put everything that we have into this game on Monday. And I think that we'd take a lot of confidence from the Canada game, but it's about making sure that we do have that same attitude.
Josh.
Just wanted to know your reactions to Germany missing out on the round of 16. It's funny how it's turned out. There's a couple of big nations missing out on the knockouts.
Yeah, I mean, I think we got close to a taste of it at one point, and it's a horrible feeling. So, you know, I can't imagine the feeling of being such a big nation and going out so early. It's sad to see big players and big nations, you know, bombing out early. But I think it's incredible to see the rise of the lower ranked teams and how the gap is closing. And so yeah, I said earlier, the moment that I saw Morocco find out on TV last night was a really special moment, just as another footballing fan, and football's about those moments. And while it's so sad for Germany, I think it's really exciting for other people as well. And sport can be really cruel sometimes, but it can also be one of the best things as well. So a couple of different emotions in there.
I think it's going to a list.
Just on that, it's going through the goals attempted statistics, and Germany's obviously out. They had 32 attempted shots at goals compared to something like Spain 78, Australia 50. Now Denmark is 27. So with that, with the lack of score,
You lost me with half of those numbers. I'm so sorry.
what I'm trying to say is that the attempts at goals in those first three games, Australia had 50 attempts, 16 on target. Denmark 27, 9 on target. But if I compare that to, say, Spain, which has had 78 shots at goal, statistically, you can see, if you look at Germany, their lack of attempts at goals also is down. They're out. So I'll get to the question. You rightfully take a fair amount of confidence into this game that you can defend very well against Denmark.
Yeah, I think stats are obviously they do back things up, but I think you can score so many goals and having only a few shots on target or whatever it is. But it's all about perspective, and if you want to twist it in a positive way, I think that's always our look on it. Is that if someone shows me a bunch of stats, I'm just going to look at it in a positive way, whatever way. The numbers are over my head. Because football is crazy, you know. You can have majority of. I think, you know, our game against Canada was proof of that. During the game, I saw I saw the stats coming up of the passes completed or whatever it was, and but we were winning 3-0. So it's kind of one of those ones that I'm not really sure if it.
Vince.
Hi, I can answer a question now.
Sorry, Alyssa.
This week, obviously out of the group stages now into the knockout stages, how different has your preparation been this week compared to leading into the group stage games?
Nothing's really changed for us. It's been the same the last 2-3 days that we've trained. We had a pre-camp in the Gold Coast that set us up for the schedule that we were going to have throughout the World Cup, and it was all very consistent. So regardless of whether we were on camp in the Gold Coast or here in the group stages, the knockout stages, our preparation has been the same throughout. And I think it's important to keep that consistent. Just don't want to change anything, put pressure on anything. We all know what we have to do, the job that we have to do, and the mentality that we have to have going into this game, and we just have to execute it.
Today, Charlie Grant was training separately, obviously, with the delayed concussion symptoms, right?
Yeah, sorry.
Were you concerned for her on the night when she did take that hit, and leading into Monday, if she isn't right to go, or how confident are you she will be right to go, but if she isn't, how much of a loss will it be? It was great to see her run out onto the pitch. Yeah. I mean, I agree. It was so exciting to see her make her World Cup debut. Obviously, the knock that she copped in the game was nice to see. But I think she's in a good spot. I think they're just taking care of her in the right ways and doing everything that they need to make sure that she will be ready for the game on Monday.
Sorry, we've got time for 2 more questions. I'm just going to go to Vince over there.
Alanna, there was a tweet going around earlier that had a list of all the countries that have made the round of 16 in the men's and the women's World Cup over the last 12 months, and it's Spain, France, England, and then Australia's in there as well, and it's not always the sort of company we think of ourselves in as a football nation. Just wondering what you think of not only that, but also when you look around the tournament and you see how many people are turning up to games, how you feel about Australia's status as a football nation as it's changed over your time in the game, and whether we actually think of ourselves in the right way sometimes.
Yeah, I think as Matildas, we've always viewed ourselves as being in the top, in that the top. Maybe I think I said in an interview earlier that we've done everything, but we're yet to win anything. So I think we think that we can beat all these nations, and we have a lot of belief in that. And it's exciting to see that we're getting closer and closer to that. But I love that Australia is a sporting nation. Not just football, but I think, definitely we are. It is nice to see that we are, considered among the top teams and the top nations in the world. And obviously, the Socceroos doing the job that they did and inspiring the nation as well in their World Cup. But I think seeing all the crowds and the amount of people showing up to games without a host nation, it's just been incredible to see as a fan of the game as well, and hopefully people are taking note of that and wanting to believe in the game more and invest in women's sport.
And final one to Anna.
We asked Macca about this yesterday. Penalties, if it comes to it, would you be happy to take one? You've been practicing them. I know you've been involved in shootouts in the past.
Yeah, I think as a player, that's the responsibility of every player, is that you want to be able to show up for your team and step up, and definitely that's something that I think everyone, if you ask everyone, we'll all be available to take one. That's our job, is to step up in big moments. So I'll be ready to take one if need be. But hopefully we do the job in the 90.